Texas League Baseball is next. And good evening, everybody. We welcome you into Texas League Baseball. And here is the voice of your San Antonio Missions, the one, the only, John Baker. Thank you, Bob, and a good late evening as we are underway of our live broadcast tonight. As we get set to go, it is Game 5 of our 6-game set between the visiting Frisco Conquesos and your San Antonio Missions. Well, tonight is post-game fireworks after the game. Sit back, relax, enjoy the best fireworks show, courtesy of West Creek Trail Rides and Dr. Pepper. Series wraps up tomorrow evening, 7:05, as we play our last and final game of our 6-game set. Frisco's last road travel to San Antonio for the year. And gotta say, it's pretty sad that we say goodbye, at least for a little while. Missions off to Midland starting on Tuesday through next week. And then back home to take on a July 1st through 3rd series. Short 3-game set against Corpus Christi. And then off to Corpus Christi. And then head to Wichita right after that. Missions start a 9-game homestand, starting a leadoff 3 with Amarillo, and final 6 times of the year against Midland. And so far, that was pretty much it. Go online now, samissions.com, purchase your tickets from home. Also, follow the Missions all season long with the First Pitch app from Minor League Baseball. You can download that any smartphone. Well, I'm joined in the booth by my partner, Bob. And Bob, good evening.
Good evening there, John. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, partner?
I am doing good.
Well, we are definitely getting a late start tonight as we had some rain and a couple lightning strikes. And, yep, we were pretty much in an hour rain delay, but evidently we are getting into a late start tonight. But anyway, we're getting at it. Well, San Antonio in the 3-game winning streak tonight could be a 4-game winning streak. The Missions up by 40 wins and hopefully trying to hold the first place position against Frisco and Midland. Rockhounds trying to get up there. They are getting going at Tulsa tonight. And so far, pretty good on that. Anyway, Bob, we look at the standings of the Texas League, and so far, San Antonio 40-26. Midland in second place, 38-30. Frisco third place, 37-29. Amarillo, 8.5 games back with 30-37. Corpus Christi not doing too good, 23-44. Springfield has the upper hand. They lead 4.5 against Wichita and a bunch by Northwest Arkansas. Arkansas is 33-34, tied with Northwest Arkansas. Down in last place is the Tulsa Drillers, 25-42. I got to say, Corpus Christi and Tulsa not doing good as we look at their win and loss numbers. And so far, Corpus Christi 23-44, Tulsa at 25-42. So, got to say, if they want to try to get up there, they have to win a bunch through this first half and into the second half of the season. And so far, I don't know if they could do that, but they need to pull the rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah, I got to say, John, they need a lot of work to do this season, and so far into the second half, I sure hope that they can get something going.
Got to say, Bob, absolutely right. Well, tonight for jerseys, we are looking at Frisco. They are the Conquesos tonight. San Antonio in their road grays, and so far their home whites are being washed right now. And we use Bravo Plus laundry detergent. That is also our proud sponsor of San Antonio Missions Baseball. Home whites will be worn tomorrow for the tomorrow night ball game, and so far going to be a pretty good one. Well, anyway, next federal holiday is Friday, July 4th. And yes, we are celebrating our 3-game set at Corpus Christi. We celebrate Independence Day, and yes, after that 3-game set, we're heading off to Wichita. We go to Wichita, Kansas to take on the Wind Surge, and then that will be it for the first half of the 2025 regular season. 9 games. First, leadoff 3 against Amarillo. Our last 6 up in San Antonio against Midland. And it's going to be a pretty good start to a 9 home game series, which that's going to be pretty good. Yeah, I got to say, John, Amarillo and Midland, they are really good 2 ball clubs. Arizona and Oakland A's affiliations coming to San Antonio to lead off the second half of the regular season. And then, yeah, it's sad that we don't see Midland after that last 6-game set against the Rockhounds, and it'll be next year when we see them. That is right, Bob. And also 12 games at Frisco. We'll have our 12 games up there. But anyway, we're going to see about that. They are last 9-game homestand, July 18th through July 27th. And that will be our 9-game homestand right there against Amarillo and Midland. July 29th and August 3rd, we are at Frisco. And then we come home to take on the Springfield Cardinals right after that. August 12th through the 17th, we're at Tulsa, taking on the Tulsa Drillers. They're at DCJ Field. August 19th through the 24th, we are our last 6 games against the Sod Poodles this year. August 26th through the 31st, we're our last 6 game set at Frisco, and then we're coming home one more time this year with 6 games against Corpus Christi. We are on the road one more time through the regular season, September 9th through the 14th at Springfield. And so far, that will pretty much do for the regular season. And gotta say, it'd be pretty nice to see these boys back in action. And yeah, we'll see them in action if we get into the playoff rounds, which San Antonio's doing pretty good. They have first place. They need to hold off the Rockhounds and Frisco. And so far, we'll see what happens there. But anyway, we're going to be back with our live broadcast coming up. And this one is brought to you in part by West Creek Trail Rides. Don't forget our fireworks show after the ball game. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the best fireworks show courtesy of West Creek and Dr. Pepper. We also got to thank Mother Nature. She sent the rain for us. And yes, nothing will catch fire, so that's good. So we don't have to worry about San Antonio Fire Department being out here, but evidently they do stay by us as we have our fireworks show, and they watch out for anything that may catch the grass on fire. And if that happens, they just take an ordinary fire extinguisher and, they watch out. And so far, they always have a fire engine. They keep it full of water. And that way, just in case, if anything does get out of hand, then they'll take that fire hose and extinguish the flames. But anyway, we'll be right back. We'll have our baseball game right after these commercial messages. This one brought to you in part by our friends there at West Creek. Well, we're back with Texas League Baseball, and here is John Baker. Thank you, Bob. And so far, we just got to take a moment of silence. There's been a lot of bad things going on in North Dakota yesterday as thunderstorms produced tornadoes yesterday. And so far, it was one of them things that we didn't see yesterday, but a lot of people could have lost their lives yesterday, and we just ask that everybody will keep North Dakota in your prayers as we go through tonight and through the time that they are cleaning up the mess there in North Dakota. And so far, we just keep North Dakota in our prayers. Well, we're about set to go as we take you now down on the field. And so far, as we have a sunset going on right now, stadium lights are fully going as we get going on this broadcast. Our boys wearing their road grays tonight. The quesos look like Christmas colors, red and green, white. Well, our starter tonight is Isaiah Lowe. What do we know, Bob? Well, he's got a four-seam slider, changeup, and a two-seam fastball coming for him. And so far, he's got a 95 four-seamer, so he's going to probably use that and stuff. But anyway, we'll get going and stuff. Leading off for the RoughRiders, second baseman Cameron Kelly leads things off. And three magic words. Let's play ball. High fly in the air. Foul grounds Castañon, not far from his post. And that's one away as we get things going here tonight. With that, let's give the Conquesos the Frisco starting lineups. Colley, Strom, Ortiz would be the leadoff three. Zavala, Rodriguez, Galan, middle. Smith, Biggers, and Mitchell round out the batting order for the Conqueso Frisco tonight. Center fielder, Kellen Strom, coming in and ready to go here. And the pitch. That is outside, one ball and no strikes. So far, we are late start tonight. And yes, do got some scores coming in. Amarillo leading Northwest Arkansas 9-2, top of the eighth inning. Arkansas in favor of Wichita with 4-1. As they are the top of the eighth. Corpus Christi leading Springfield 3-2, top of seven. That one is high fly in the air. Center fielder Mears makes the play, and that is two down. Tulsa leading Midland 1-0, top of the fifth. And San Antonio getting going here tonight after an hour rain delay. Not bad of a thunderstorm, but evidently be good enough for our fireworks show tonight. Abimelech Ortiz comes in, takes a strike in the count now, 0-1. One more game tomorrow night, 7:05 first pitch. Gates open at 6 o'clock. And then Missions head off to Midland after tomorrow. So far, got a nice sunset coming our way. Beautiful. As we're just in time of it, and right there, swing and a miss, and that will pretty much do it, but the side is retired. No runs, hits, or errors, nobody left on for the RoughRiders. And we go now to the bottom of the first. San Antonio coming up to bat right after these commercial messages. Bottom of the first inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, right-hander for the Quesos is Dan Acker as he'll come in. Four-seam curveball slider and a two-seam fastball. Getting ready to go for the Riders here this evening.
Leading up for
San Antonio left fielder Albert Fabian getting going here. See the orange on those clouds. And that's a strike in the count now, 0-1. Evidently sun going down and just in time for an awesome sunset. That's a liner straightaway center. That's a base hit. And the first hit for San Antonio this evening. Get going here. That'll bring in Ethan Salas. And the catcher up to the plate now, batting in the left-hand batter's box. And the pitch. Right there and in for a strike, and the count now 0-1. Hopefully Frisco trying to level the playing ground a bit. Down 3 losses in this series. And hopefully trying to come back and try to take one here on the road and tomorrow as well if it's necessary. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the first, 1 on. Nobody out. And a pitch. That is right there, fouled out of play, and the count now 1-2. No, it was terrible what happened in North Dakota yesterday. That big, severe thunderstorm produced an F5 tornado. And that's the first strikeout for Queso starter Dan Acker. Now that storm, we all knew it was tornadic at the time. Putting down an F5 tornado. It went through one town after another. So far, Valley City was evidently hit by that tornado. And so far, we just honor those that may have lost their lives in the storm from yesterday. Like, we are doing a donation to them. If you want to donate to North Dakota, you can. Just visit our website. Money goes directly to the victims of that tornado outbreak in North Dakota. That's right there. Back to the mound. And uh-oh. That's a big error right there. And that's going to put runners at second and third. And not a good thing tonight. Error on Frisco. And it looks like the pitcher gets that error as he overshoots it. And yep, you saw the instant replay. That is not looking good on the pitcher. That puts runners at second and third. Still one away as Marcos Castellon coming to the plate now for San Antonio. One error committed on what looked like a hit. 1 ball, 1 strike to Castellon. And that is right there out of play. The count now at 1-2. Stadium lights coming full effect on this Saturday night. Evidently nice that we are getting a night game tomorrow for Bark in the Park Sunday. Pretty good shot at their third base side. Here is the right fielder, Jacob Campbell. With that double, everybody gets Whataburger coupons and double meat cheeseburger, choice of a medium fry or onion ring, and the choice of your drink, like Dr. Pepper or ice sweet tea and stuff. I go for one of the two, whatever mood I'm in.
So right there, the count now at 1-1. So far, Amarillo, big lead against Northwest Arkansas tonight. There at Riverboat Field, just a pretty good game going on up there in North Little Rock. And right there, called third strike. And the Riders, they don't have that error coming back to haunt them, as that will be the side retired. So no runs on a hit, one error, and two left. We now head to the second inning, and it's no score, 3-1. So back here after this as Aaron Zavala leads it off for the Frisco RoughRiders right after we get back from our break.
Well, we're about set to go for the top half of the second inning. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. And yeah, so far we are sending our money to the people that were affected yesterday in the tornado outbreak in North Dakota. So if you want to, you could donate. And we're sending the money there to help the victims of that tornado outbreak from yesterday. Leading off the top of the second inning is Aaron Zavala, as we are set to go here in the second inning in tonight's broadcast. That's right there in the end for a strike. The count now 0-1. 1 inning in the books, scoreless. And so far, San Antonio trying to come and get in. That is right there. Ground ball in front of Cedeno. Passes it to Castañon.
The third baseman, number 3.
And that is out number 1. That will bring in Caber Rodriguez, the third baseman, as he strides up now for Frisco. And the pitch. That one skied to left field. Fabian under it. Makes the grab as he runs after it. And that is 2 down. So this ball game could go pretty good with no runs, hits, or errors. And so far, could get us through it very quickly, Bob. Yeah, I got to say, John, if the pitcher Isaiah Lowe can pitch in a lot of innings, they'll have to see what happens in this one. Yeah, that's for sure. Right there, swing to miss as Yosi Galan swings at strike 2. And the 0-2. One more time. Here's the pitch. And that's right there. Castañon picks it up himself, and he does not call in for reinforcements as he'll take it himself for the inning is over. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left on for the Riders. And we go now 2.5. No score through 2.5. We're back here as the designated hitter, Cole Roederer, will stand in for San Antonio when we come back. About set to go for the bottom half of the second inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network.
Well, the designated hitter is Cole Roederer as we lead off the bottom of 2. Nighttime fastly approaching on this evening. That's down and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Roederer batting a .205 average for the year of San Antonio. That's a swing and a miss, and the count now 1-1. No, and tomorrow do believe that we do have Bark in the Park tomorrow. But evidently, it will be a severe weather day tomorrow. That one's skied high in the air, deep to left field, and that's going to be caught by the left fielder as he makes the play in foul territory. And that is out number 1. Hot corner guy, here is third baseman Yendry Rojas. Rojas coming in, ready to go. Sun already down, but still a little bit of light left over. It's taken down and outside. The count now at 0-1 to him. Ready to go, and the windup. And that's going to be pelted high in the air up to center field, and that's going to get down. Third baseman has a leadoff double. And Rojas got everybody double meat cheeseburgers, courtesy of our friends of Whataburger. So pretty good right here. Here's the 8-hole batter, Nerwillian Cedeno. Cedeno coming in, ready to go. Takes that one down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. San Antonio has a man in scoring position, and so far, if a base hit comes through, that'll put the runner from second all the way home. That one fouled off, and that still holds at 1-1. We've got a great crowd here tonight. So far, it's nice to see our stadium getting nicely packed up, and so far, if 2028 comes, well, we are moving. We'll have a few more seasons in this stadium, and so far, a downtown ballpark will be built. Kind of sad that we leave this one behind. Wouldn't you say, Bob? I gotta say, let's just enjoy the present right now and focus future later on. Wow, Bob. That's pretty good. I mean, yeah, you're right, Bob. Not going to question you there, but you're right. Here's the 1-2. That one right there, ground ball. And they'll pass to the pitcher. Acker, he steps on the bag, and that will get the second out. But 90 feet away is that runner. And the next batter up is Leo Dallas DeVries. Also, don't forget we're having a ceremony for our winning Gold Glove winner. And so far, we have not announced his name yet, but we are going to at a later time. No balls, 2 strikes to Leo Dallas DeVries. And the pitch, that is right there. That is up the middle and a base hit. Run in to score. And Leo Dallas DeVries brings home one of his teammates. And so far, it's now a 1-0 early lead for San Antonio. So tonight, if San Antonio wins this one, it'll be their 41st of the season. That's outside, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-for-1 single. The Missions still up, first place tonight. They lead 3.5 against Midland and about 3.5 against Frisco. I do believe, if that is right. Okay, so it would be 4.5 for the Riders. It'd be 3.5 against Midland, 4.5 against Frisco. And that's going to be high in the air and right to the wall. Boy, a few more inches, and that would have been a home run right there. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left for San Antonio. We head now to the 3rd inning, and San Antonio has a 1-0 lead over the RoughRiders. Marcus Smith leads off the top of the 3rd. When we come back here, it's San Antonio 1, Frisco 0.
All right, top half of the third inning set to go for Frisco. Right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, third inning set to go. Marcus Smith leading it off for the Caucasos. And that is out of play for strike one. The count now 0-1. And the pitch. That is popped up. Salas, the catcher, near the plate, makes the catch. What a good one. And that is one down.
Shortstop, Jax Biggers.
Shortstop is Jax Biggers. As he comes in. Gotta absolutely love Christmas colors on the Caucaso jerseys. You got red and green, white. Look like an ordinary Christmas cookie. Yeah, it sure does there, John. Pitch right there. Bunted. And not in time, as that will be an infield single.
The catcher, number 28, Tucker.
Biggers gets on base on a well-successful bunt. Here is Tucker Mitchell as he swings and misses that one. And the count now at 0-1. Runner at first, one away. So far, a pretty good evening. We had some rain. And that's going to be driven right there to center fielder Mears, and that's out number 2. So the runner at first still stays put.
Second baseman, Cameron Cawley.
You know, evidently a donation's going in for the people of North Dakota. Cameron Coley coming in now. One away, nobody on, and yep, so far about $15,000 has already been raised to help those in need of food and supplies. And America First Cross coming in to aid support of those that have lost everything in North Dakota. No balls, 2 strikes to Coley. Here's the pitch. And that is out of play. The count now 0-2. Yeah, I got to say, John, it is pretty good that we help people in need of those that are in need due to the setback during this tornado yesterday. 0-2. That one high in the air up to right field. Campbell will get it, and that's the inning. So they leave one stranded. No runs, a hit, one left, and we now had 3.5. San Antonio leading this game 1-0. We're back here as catcher Ethan Salas gets ready to go. Well, about set to go for the bottom of the third inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, here is Ethan Salas as we're getting set to go here in the bottom of three.
Ball one.
And slider down and in, the count now 1-0. Already, skies are dark. And so far, it is nighttime. That one right there, the count now at 1-1. And the pitch. That one skied high in the air. And that is out number one.
Now batting, the center fielder, Joshua.
Center fielder Joshua Mears was a fielder's choice last time up. Feel pretty cool on those jerseys, the Frisco Conquesos. Red, green, white, Christmas colors. And I do believe while San Antonio is in Frisco, we'll evidently get to see those jerseys again. Like what we're seeing tonight. Missions in their road grays, Frisco in their Caucaso jerseys. Christmas type colored jerseys. Here's the 2-1. And that one fouled off, and it's 2-2. Sad to see that tomorrow is Frisco's last ever game of the year in San Antonio. So 2 down, and that's the 4th strikeout for Dan Acker.
Now batting, the first baseman,
Marcos Castañon was a strikeout last time up. He's 0 for 1. Now 2026. That's a season that hopefully will be better, with San Antonio getting more North Division rivals like Tulsa and Arkansas, Springfield, Wichita, and Northwest Arkansas. We would definitely love to see them next year in 2026. That one right there hit the wall, and a few more inches, that could have been also a home run. Well, no runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on for San Antonio. We're on now to the 4th inning, and it's 1-0 Missions. Back here for the 4th inning is Kellen Strom. Will lead it off for Frisco when we come back. Top of the fourth inning for Frisco, right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, here is Kellen Strom as we're back here. Fourth inning set to go. And the pitch. Down and in, strike one slider. Oh, already 3 innings come and go. On now to the fourth. Frisco trailing a run in this contest. That's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-2 to Strom. San Antonio 1-0 here in this broadcast, and that's going to be a slow roller. In front of Leo Dallas DeVries, gives it to Marcos Castañon, and that is one down. Castañon, a pretty good successful first baseman. Do apologize for my little stutteriness. That's okay, John. Keep going. Thank you, Bob, for your inspiration. I appreciate it. Abimelec Ortiz coming in. No balls, 1 strike to him as he fouls that one off. And the pitch. And that is outside for a strike. The count now 0-2. San Antonio 1, Frisco 0. Fourth inning, 1 away, nobody on. And a pitch. Outside a ball, and the count now 1-2. Yikes. That's the first ball in this half inning that they go in and try to get something going. And for sure. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be right there. Fabian looks at it, and it will not get in time for a playable cause. And that is 1-2 to Ortiz. And the pitch. That one's skied to center field. Mears under it, and he'll make the play for 2 down.
The right fielder, number 13, Aaron Zavala.
Well, Aaron Zavala coming in as he grounded out last time up is 0 for 1. And the pitch. And that one fouled off, and the count now at 0-1. He's 0 for 1 of the evening. And the pitch. That one fouled off, still hanging on. No balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes to count to Zavala. The pitch. That one high in the air, foul. And still hanging on. Here's the 0-2. Swing! And got him! And that ends the inning. So a nuller 4 as they will leave the field scoreless. Through 4.5, San Antonio leading this game 1-0. Jacob Campbell, the right fielder, lead off the bottom of the fourth when we come back. San Antonio up by 1. All right, ball set for the bottom of the fourth inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, right fielder is Jacob Campbell as we set to go. The bottom of four. This broadcast brought to you in part by West Creek Trail Rides and Dr. Pepper, and proud sponsor of tonight's fireworks show. 1 ball, no strikes in the count. And don't forget that July 3rd, as we take on Corpus Christi, we are having fireworks shows. And that's going to be right there. Ground ball, right in time. No! He did not get him. He beats the ball. Very nicely done by Jacob Campbell. Well, the shortstop took too long to get that ball. Yeah, he sure did, John. And right there, that's going to be an infield single. Dan Acker now at 50 pitches for the Frisco RoughRiders. And that one's high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, for sure, Bob. 0 for 1 to fly out the last time up. So far, nighttime here in San Antonio. And got to say, we do apologize after being an hour and a half into rain delay. But much needed for the field. And, yep, so far the field got a good watering today. Well, hopefully when we're up in Midland next week, it'll get a pretty good watering when we're gone. Yeah, for sure. 3 balls, no strikes. 1 more ball, and that will put a base runner on second. And right there, ball 4 loses him. 4-pitch walk.
Now batting, third baseman.
And no strikes issued, and that'll put first and second on. Uh-oh, Frisco's in danger now. Yep. If they continue this fiasco of no strikes, then that will be a big problem for the starter, Dan Acker. Yeah, and they'll have to probably come and take him out of the ball game if need be. Man, for sure. Down and in, curveball, that'll even up 1-1. You know, the great thing about the previous pitcher was he held up and he did not swing after those 4 balls. Nope, yeah, for sure. That right there outside to count now 2-1. Boy, everything is just red and green this evening for Frisco. Just absolutely love Christmas colors. That one right there in the end to count now 2-2. Yeah, Christmas, my favorite time of year. Yeah, me too. And we celebrate with family. And most likely, I know you're with your family and stuff. You're gonna be with your brother during Christmas? I don't know about that, Bob. I mean, what happened last year, that was unreal. Norwillian Cedeno comes in. He's 0 for 1. Takes that one outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Thanksgiving was a nightmare last year, back in 2024. And so far, just scream his head off at me. 2 hours and 15 minutes all the way from San Antonio to Brady. And kissing that Star Wars toy, people just laughed at us. And I was like, dude, you know, you need to leave that toy at home. You know, we're out in public and you're just embarrassing me when you're doing that. Yeah, I gotta say, John, I would be embarrassed too if somebody done me that way. I was like, look, if you're gonna be spoiled, one thing or another is leaving you at home, I would gladly do. 9-hole batter is the Leo Dallas DeVries. That is back up the middle and through for the base hit, and that's going to load some bases. So San Antonio getting after it, as that would be a leadoff single, and that'll put the bases loaded for San Antonio. 64 now for Dan Acker, John, and he's not having a pretty good inning. Now, he has nowhere to put anybody else as those bags are loaded. 4-pitch walk would issue in run number 2 for San Antonio.
A grand slam would make it a 5-0 ball game. And that is out of play. The count now 0-2. You know, for years, my dad spoiled my brother, made him spoiled like nothing else. He would sit there, cry, stomp his feet, you know. He'd be like this, I want this, I want that. Why don't you give me this? Why don't you give me that, you know? And so far, Dad just spoiled him like nothing else. But anyway, we'll talk about that. We start the next half inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave the bags loaded up. We're on now to the 5th inning. San Antonio leading this game by 1-0. Caber Rodriguez, Galan, and Smith will lead it off in the 5th. So in the broadcast, we're talking about your brother and how much spoiled he is. Yeah, I got to say, Bob, absolutely right. And so far, that toy is what's changing him. You know, the toy from the Mandalorian and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You were telling me that one day he said, "Oh, I will destroy you."
And that's when I had to put my foot down and say I had enough.
Yeah, I gotta say, John, you shouldn't put up with him anymore, and you need to walk away from him and just need to start your life and be free without him.
Yep, that is for sure. Well, anyway, we'll be right back after commercial messages. We're 5th inning coming up, and we'll be right back. San Antonio has this game 1-0.
All right, we're about ready to go again for the top of the fifth inning for Frisco. Right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Tabor Rodriguez coming in as he'll take a strike. And the countdown, 0-1. We're doing pretty good here tonight. A 1-0 early lead. Nice and cool on this night. That's going to be a ground ball right there through for a base hit. And Frisco trying to get a W tonight. Tying run now at first base. Nobody out. Good start to the RoughRiders. And a pitch. That's right there and out of play. Left fielder Yosi Galan grounded out as 0 for 1. Well, we got to say today was the season finale of horseback riding adventures, and so far our new premier season starting this fall. Saturday mornings in October is season 4.
Now batting, designated hitter Marcus.
And so far, if everybody knows the release date, all right, then you do. Well, you do have it in the community chat here on this channel. Saturday morning, October 4th at 9:30. Yep, that is right there, Pops. No balls, 1 strike the count now. Marcus Smith coming in, 1 on, 1 out. Here in the top of the Frisco 5th inning. That is right there. That is a liner straight away up to left. That's another base hit. So 2-1.
The batter.
And they're getting all worked up and stuff, right, Bob? Gotta say, John, they absolutely are. They have to be careful without making any more outs, and that's one thing that they have to do. Yeah, for sure. And that's going to get down, and that's going to tie us up. If not 1, 2 runs come in. And in the score, Frisco takes the lead on a 2-run double. So they are trying to stop a 4-game winning streak against San Antonio. And so far, that's what they're trying to do. Oh, Bob. Here is Tucker Mitchell as he comes in. Ground ball right there, and not in time, and that'll pull Castellon off the first base bag. So he gets the error, and that'll bring up the next batter up, Cameron Calley. 0 for 2, fly out and a pop out. 2-1, a runner. 2 runners on, I should say. I do apologize about that. Again, 2 runners on, 1 away, an error for San Antonio. And that's a strike inside. The count now 0-1. Tonight, 2 errors committed by both sides. And the 0-1 right there. And that's going to be a straightaway liner. And that's going to get through for a base hit. 3rd run in for the Frisco RoughRiders, and they'll score in an RBI single as Cawley does the work. And so far, pretty good. Kellen Strom coming in as he takes a strike, and the count now at 0-1. Line out and a ground out is 0 for 2 of the night. And so far, trying to get out of this half inning before any more runs come in. That is outside. The count now 1-1. 1-1. That one high in the air. Campbell getting under it, makes the play. No advance from the third or second.
Now batting, the first baseman.
Second to third, I should say. And that'll bring up Abimelech Ortiz. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. And a pitch. That one high in the air, up to left field. Fabian on pursuit makes the play, and that ends the inning. 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error for San Antonio.
And we now head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Frisco leads this game 3-1. So back here for more as Ethan Salas will lead off the bottom of the fifth when we come back.
All right, we lead off the bottom of the fifth inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, Ethan Salas coming in, 2, 3, and 4, facing off Dan Acker as he pitched in his 68th pitch through 5 and 2 of an inning. Down and in a slider, the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2-run lead for Frisco. San Antonio now trailing those two. And that's going to be right there. Up the middle, lands into center field, a base hit.
The center fielder, number 14, Joshua.
Well, Joshua Mears coming in as we're set to go, and that's going to be a ground ball to second for 1. They relay the double play, and there's 2 down. 5-4-3, and they pretty much destroy any chance of getting in that runner from second to third and all the way home. Marcos Castañon coming in. And that's a strike inside. The count now 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to Castañon. And the pitch. That one skied to center field. Moving under it, the center fielder will make the play, and that's a 1-2-3. No runs on a hit, no errors, and now to the 6th inning, and Frisco has the lead 3-1. We're back here as Aaron Zavala will lead off the top of the 6th inning when we come back in this Texas League ball game on this Saturday night. Well, we're top of the 6th inning for Frisco, right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, here is Aaron Zavala as we lead off the top of the 6th inning for Frisco. And that one miss outside, ball 1 to count now 1-0 to him. Well, we need to go ahead and give some scores here tonight. Amarillo dominating Northwest Arkansas pretty good tonight. And so far, Bob is doing the pleasures of getting everything going. Amarillo 10-2 as they are the final score. So Sod Poodles take that ball game, and so far they are having a fireworks show there in Northwest Arkansas. Arkansas called their ball game 4-3 against Wichita. Springfield takes a game against Corpus Christi, and yep, Corpus Christi gets another loss. They are not doing good. Yeah, I wonder what's
tiring them out and stuff. I don't know, Bob, but that is the 42nd for Springfield. Corpus Christi now down 23-45 of the year. Here's the 2-2. That one's skied into left center. Mears will get after it and makes the play. And that is out number one. Caber Rodriguez coming in. Arkansas ties up Northwest Arkansas. Wichita getting a loss tonight. Is getting beat by the Arkansas Travelers by the final score of 4-3. The wind to stretch. And inside for a strike. The count now 0-1. Well, it is 4-0 Tulsa against Midland there at DCJ Field, and that is outside the count now 1-1. So pretty much Midland and Tulsa, Frisco, and San Antonio are the only four clubs going tonight. And that is going to be high fly in the air, deep to left field. Fabian getting near the wall. He's got it. Right there, 2 down. Again, we saw 3 almost hard-hit balls get out of here tonight. And that was at the wall. And yes, go ahead and get Amarillo tallied into their 31st win of the season. 31st against Northwest Arkansas. And, yep, so far pretty good on that. That'll be an automatic ball. And the count now, 1 ball and no strikes. Yosi Galan coming in. As that's outside, the count now 2-0. 2 outs, nobody on. Frisco having a 2-run lead against San Antonio tonight. And the pitch, that's a swing and a miss. Boy, nasty on that changeup. And the count now 2-1. The pitch, that's outside for the ball. The count now 3-1. Designated hitter Marcus Smith awaits on deck to get on the batter's box. And a 3-2. That's the ground ball. Rojas, flip across to Castañon, inning over. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one on for Frisco. And we are bottom half of the order coming up. And the RoughRiders leading 3-1. So we're back here right after this as we'll have a new arm, a right-hander will come in for Frisco in tonight's broadcast.
Well, we are the bottom of the sixth inning, and Matt Festa is getting in to call for Frisco, as he is at ERA of 5.70, 24 at a strikeout rate, and he's coming in this ball game in relief. Well, that'll bring up right fielder Jacob Campbell as he strides in. Takes that cutter in the inside for a strike. The count now 0-1. Clark and Carrillo coming in, a lefty and a righty warming up in the Frisco bullpen. RoughRiders and the 0-1. That is chop foul. The count now 0-2. On deck circle is the tying run. Evidently, it is 9:48 on this Saturday. And that's a liner straight away up by second base. And they are getting through. No doubt about it.
Now batting, the designated
Good thing is another base hit or a home run will tie up the game. So hopefully San Antonio could get in there. The 3-game winning streak is in danger of that 3-1 lead for Frisco. That one skied to left field. That is up there, and that is out number 1. Cole Roederer has to sit down as he's retired. But anyway, here is third baseman Yendry Rojas. Rojas coming in, ready to go. Runner at first, 1 away, 3-1 Frisco. 2-run lead for the Riders. And that is a high pop-up right there, left field, a dangerous play, and yes it is. Wasted out right there. Ouch, you don't want to see that ever. Yeah, I know, and that was a rough out number 2, I should say. Norwillian Cedeno, the second baseman, is 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out. As he comes in, he's ready to go, and in the windup. Outside, ball 1. 6 pitches to our new reliever on the hill for Frisco, Matt Festa. That one skied to center field. Nothing doing. And that ends the inning. So no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left on. 7th inning coming up. Frisco has the lead, 3-1. We're back here as Marcus Smith leads it off, top of 7. And Smith, Biggers, and Mitchell will lead it off for the RoughRiders when we come back. Seventh inning set to go for Frisco right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, Marcus Smith coming in as we lead off the seventh inning. And that's going to be bunted. Watch out. Boy, that is a ball deflected off that bat. 0-1. That's inside, strike two. And yeah, he puts himself in a 0-2 count. Shaking his head at home plate umpire Jeff Andrews. Not happy about that. I don't think any batter would be happy that they get down in a 0-2 count, and one way to literally screw the pooch.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
I never heard that before, but I bet you watched Twisters, didn't you? Yeah, when Tyler Owens said that. And right there, swing and a miss. And third strikeout for our reliever.
Jax Biggers.
That will bring in Jax Biggers as he comes in. Fans are on the edge of their seats just watching this ball game. 2 for 2, double, single, 2 RBIs and a run by Biggers tonight. And the pitch. That is right out of play. The count now at 0-2. 58 strikes in total of 66. And the pitch. That one skied to right field. Campbell racing after it. He's got it for the out. So pretty good right there.
Catcher, number 28, Tucker Mitchell.
Tucker Mitchell coming in. And the pitch. That one skied high in the air up to left field. Fabian gets after it, and that does it. Get up a stretch. We have your seventh inning stretch coming up now. A beautiful shot at downtown San Antonio. And just a pretty look at the Tower of Americas. And so far, pretty good on that. Well, we are bottom of 7. The RoughRiders hold 3-1. And a new reliever coming in for the bottom of 7 when we come back from break. Bottom half of the seventh inning set to go for the Missions Baseball Network.
Pitching for Frisco.
Left-hander Seth Clark is coming in this game. Four-seam slider, changeup, a two-seam fastball. Coming in for the RoughRiders.
Shortstop, number 94.
Shortstop is Leo Dallas DeVries. Bottom of the seventh inning, and so far glad everybody has enjoyed the seventh inning stretch as we always do here at the ballpark. We sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and greatest song ever made from baseball. No ball, one strike. And that is going to be high in the air. Center fielder racing after it, and he's got it. So one down.
Number 30, Albert Fabian.
Albert Fabian coming in. Don't forget, we are a few innings left until the fireworks show. Win or lose, San Antonio still has a fireworks show.
1-0.
One ball, no strikes. Hey, John, we just got an update on donations. I'm going into the people of North Dakota tornado aftermath, and so far, city of San Antonio has donated $1.5 million to the survivors of the tornado outbreak in North Dakota. Well, ain't that something? Wow. So $500,000. And yep, we care for our tornado survivors. 1 for 3 single. You know, with tornadoes that ravaged through North Dakota and even South Dakota, that was bad.
Nope. Ball 1.
And right there, 1 ball, no strikes. Ethan Salas, last man up here in the bottom of the seventh inning for San Antonio. The San Antonio Missions giving already 20,000, and the number keeps climbing tonight. Could be up to 100,000 by tomorrow evening. And the pitch. That's right there, out of play. So the count now at 2-1. So if you like to donate, just go to our Missions box office and donate to the tornado survivors in North Dakota. And so far, your money is good to help those that had lost everything in wake of yesterday's outbreak in North Dakota. 3-1. That one skied high in the air, right field, and that was not a well-hit ball, and that will pretty much do it. Well, 7 innings come and go, and that is it. Frisco continues this lead 3-1. They lead by 2. Coley Strom-Ortiz will lead it off top of the 8th as Frisco leads 3-1 against the Missions. Top half of the eighth inning set to go for Frisco and the RoughRiders, the San Antonio Missions Baseball Network. Come on, Bob. Wake up, partner. Well, before we get started with this top half of the eighth inning, Omar Cruz will be out
Number 60.
to join in the relief session.
Cruz.
And so far as we look at him, 4-seam curveball, changeup, a 2-seam fastball, and he's got 4 weapons of his choice. Cameron Coley leads it off top of the 8th inning as he'll face off Omar Cruz and hits that one straight away center. Mears is after it, and that is out number 1. Frisco down, 5 outs remaining of tonight's broadcast. San Antonio down to their final 6 outs. They need to get something going. Yeah, in order to preserve that, that's what they need to do. They need to do. Abimelec Ortiz is coming in. He's 0 for 3, a strikeout and 2 flyouts. A Missions victory tonight and fireworks show, that's a double feature for everybody. Yeah, I got to say, John, absolutely right. If they could get something going, that would be fantastic. Well, no balls, 1 strike, 2 away. Top of the 8th inning. That one is down and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 3,212 on a Saturday night. Pretty good, and that's outside the count now, 1-2. Missions may wear their road jerseys more often. This is a pretty good idea, right, Bob? Got to say, John, absolutely right. If they wear these road jerseys through the second half, while their home whites are being cleaned and pressed and looking nice and clean, then that's a good thing. Yeah, for sure. That one skied to center field. Mears after it. He's under, and there he goes. Out number 3 with time to spare, and that ends the inning. No runs, hit or errors, nobody left on for Frisco. We're 8.5 tonight with Frisco leading this ball game 3-1. We'll have another reliever coming in as it will be a right-hander coming in for the RoughRiders. The Frisco Conquesos coming in just a little bit.
Bottom half of the eighth inning set to go for San Antonio right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Right-hander Gerardo Carrillo getting the call. It's a four-seam curveball changeup and a two-seam fastball. And so far, we are set to go for the San Antonio bottom half of eight. Center fielder Joshua Mears, strikeout, ground out, the fielder's choice. Missions have 6 outs remaining of this ball game tonight. And that's going to be a liner. That's getting down. Base hit. And that's going to be a Joshua Mears double. And there we go. That's what you need. Spark the fire of a base hit. And all you need now is another base hit. Get the runner home. Marcos Castañon coming in. And that's going to be high fly in the air. And no, he is not going to chance it right there. That's a double play waiting to happen. Right fielder is Jacob Campbell, 2 for 3 at 2 singles. Tying run at the plate. And that's going to be right there. Hit the third. They'll flip to first, and that's the out. So 2 down. So San Antonio trying to break through the blockade. And evidently 2 first batters come up against Gerardo Carrillo, and they didn't have any luck getting through. 0 for 2, a walk. And the last time up. And a pitch. That one high and outside. Good hold up. 1 ball, no strikes. 3-1 with the runner at second. That is right there. Bouncy ball right there. And that's the inning. So no runs on a hit, no errors. 1 left. And we head now to the top of the 9th inning. Frisco leads it 3-1. So we're back here as Aaron Zavala will lead it off. And we're going to be good to go after that. So Frisco 3, San Antonio 1 in this broadcast.
Top of the ninth inning, set to go for Frisco right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Aaron Zavala will come in as we are set to go. 3-1 in the top half of the ninth inning. That's a strike inside the count now, 0-1. San Antonio will have the opportunity of having 3 outs and hopefully tie the ball game. Maybe a home run. That would be great to walk off a Saturday night and a post-game fireworks after that. And swing and a miss. Got him. Right there for out number 1.
The third baseman, number 3,
Caber Rodriguez, the third baseman, 1 for 3 at a single. And a pitch. That one's skied high in the air. And that's going to get down for a base hit. So a 1-out single by Rodriguez. And still trying to look pretty good. Yossi Galan coming in, and he's going to get that one liner straight away up the left field. That's a base hit. Shallow left center.
Now batting, designated hitter.
And that'll put runners at first and third. Marcus Smith coming in. And a pitch. Right there in the end. Strike 1.
0-1.
So San Antonio trying to stop any more runs from coming in. And if they could get that going, then they get to the bottom of the ninth where they can preserve a victory. Right there, high in the air. And here comes the other run in to score, and Smith gets an RBI single sacrifice.
Now batting, shortstop, Jack.
And they're 2 away.
Biggers.
So now the Frisco RoughRiders lead 4-1, I should say. And that'll bring up Jack Biggers. Frisco Queso 4, San Antonio Missions 1. And the pitch. Right there in the end, strike 1.
0-1's the count.
So pretty good evening thus far if Frisco continues their run deficits. And that's outside a foul. The count now at 0-2. Hey, John, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Just got to breathe. No ball, 2 strikes. And that one skied up to center field. Mears has it in view, and that will do it. So played perfectly, as that will be the side retired. Bottom half of the order, Rojas, Cedeno, and DeVries will get us going in the bottom half of the ninth inning. So it's Frisco 4 and San Antonio 1.
Bottom half of the ninth inning set to go for San Antonio right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, thank you, Bob, and we are about set to go as Luis Corvello getting the call for Frisco tonight. 97 on that four-seam fastball, slider at a two-seam coming right after it. Yendry Rojas, 1 for 3, double and a run. Trying to tie the ball game up and get out of danger of losing a 3-game winning streak and trying to get to a fourth. That's right there and in for a strike. The count now 0-1. 10:37 as we are the bottom of the ninth inning right now. And the pitch. That one is guide to right field. Got a chance, and that's going to hit the wall. And that will be a double right in time. Yendry Rojas getting everybody those double meat cheeseburger coupons courtesy of our friends there at Whataburger. I need a 2-run shot to lead a 1-runner. So that will put San Antonio in reach of tying up the ball game. Nerwillian Cedeno is 0 for 3, strikeout and a line-out, ground out. 0 for 3 of the night for San Antonio. And the pitch. And that's going to be right there, high in the air. And tagging up, here comes a runner. Safely at third, and now San Antonio down to their final 2 outs. Missions trying to preserve a 4th win and keep the win streak alive. Hopefully Leo Dallas DeVries could do it like he did when they took on Wichita. And that's going to be right there. That's a liner. And that'll get a run in. And now trying to 2 runs will tie us up. And that's all you need. The base hit by Leo Dallas DeVries gets things going. Yeah, it sure does, Bob. And we go back to the top of the San Antonio lineup. Here's the left fielder, Albert Fabian. And that's going to be right there. That gets down. And that's going to put runners at second and third. Now the tying run coming up now. And it looks like the 41st for San Antonio is far in reach. And not that far away. Just need a 3-run shot and win it by a 5-4 final. And that's going to be right there. That is deep. And they walk it off. And they win it. A walk-off homer for San Antonio. Man, and that's one way you celebrate, as they did against Wichita. And the Missions have their 41st. Putting the RoughRiders down now 37-30. And that is tonight's ball game. Missions claim Game 5, and their 4-game winning streak continues. And yeah, that was a perfect evening. They win by 1. It is a final 5-4. Well, Frisco nearly had this game in their grasp. They led 4-1, but 4 runs came in and finished it off for San Antonio. Omar Cruz getting the win to Luis Corvello gets the loss for the RoughRiders. And so far, pretty good night for San Antonio as they get the victory tonight. Well, anyway, Pretty good night thus far for the Missions as they win by the final 5-4. And San Antonio claims the 41st of the season. Well, that means one more game left of this homestand. Don't forget, tomorrow evening, it's winner take all in the finale of this week. Well, Crivello gets the loss. Ethan Salas, 2 for 5, a home run, 3 RBIs. Omar Cruz getting the victory for San Antonio this evening. Well, pretty good night, and thus far, we are down to our last home game. And, well, Bob, it's off to Midland. We get back from Midland. It's a short 3-game set against Corpus Christi, and then it's off to Corpus Christi for the second half of the leadoff 3, and then it is straight from Corpus Christi to Wichita, and after that, we are pretty much good to go after that. We're off for 4 days after that 6-game set against the Wind Surge. And then we're starting off our 9-game homestand, leading off the second half of the 2025 campaign. Anyway, San Antonio look like they're getting ready to clinch the playoff spot, which, the likes of which, that's what San Antonio has always hoped for. And so far, with 41-26 of the season, Midland being down now 4.5 games back. Wichita now 5.5, losing, well, should I say Frisco? Not Wichita, I do apologize. Frisco down 5.5 games against the San Antonio Missions. They are 37-30 in third place. Amarillo is trailing Frisco 8.5 games back, and Corpus Christi losing to Springfield, now 23-45. So that's not good for the Corpus Christi Hooks. For Springfield, they get their 42nd of the season, winning against Corpus Christi. And, yeah, they're not stopping. They're still going. And they got the first place position well in hand, leading Wichita, Northwest Arkansas, the Travelers and Drillers, and so far Corpus Christi and Tulsa both are teams that may not recover from these big bad losses, but evidently it is hard to even comprehend how bad it is. But anyway, what a night it's been as San Antonio clinched their 4th straight win. And hopefully tomorrow night that will be another story told for all of us. Yeah, I got to say, John, absolutely right. And yeah, the fireworks are now going off on this Saturday night. And got to say, pretty good as we do our after-game show. And well, so far, Frisco down now. We have 4 losses at San Antonio tonight. And so far, trying to get in there and get something going. Now, that is for sure. Well, anyway, for San Antonio, it's 5 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. For the Frisco RoughRiders, it's 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. Well, anyway, gotta say, it was a pretty fun night, and we have really enjoyed our viewers coming in to our broadcast. So far, a special thanks to San Antonio for donating $1.5 million to the people of North Dakota during the tornado outbreak from yesterday, which that was very, very terrible. Anyway, for the San Antonio Missions, we have also donated $25,000. It goes up, and so far it might go up to 30 by overnight, but we should be expecting 100,000 to go to North Dakota for relief aid. Also, it will be the relief aid that goes to them, and so far just nice that San Antonio has donated that kind of money to the people that have lost everything due to that storm yesterday. If you look at the video from yesterday, Bob, it was very, very bad. You had a tornadic thunderstorm that produced that F5, and it went right through Valley City, and so far the towns up east of Valley City, they got hit pretty bad. It was no joke that they had 2 tornadoes at the ground and then a well-defined derecho right after that. I mean, you had 1-2 tornado-type storms, and these twin storms led the charge. They ran from the derecho, and boy, tell you one thing, ugly as ever. Yeah, I got to say, John, absolutely right about that. And so far, with this money, it will be used to help a lot of people. And we thank San Antonio for donating $500,000 to so many in need. Red Cross and Blue Shield are up there right now as they survey the damage of yesterday's tornado outbreak, and so far many in our prayers. I mean, there could be loss of life through these difficult times that all of us may be experiencing. Now, that is for sure. Well, anyway, Bob, we've had a pretty good evening thus far, and now we close it off at 10:50 p.m. on this Saturday night. And so far, we just thank everybody that came in and everybody that donated to a lot of people for North Dakota, and for a lot that may be continuing to bring donations to our box office. That is also pretty good. Well, anyway, our final score here tonight, 5-4, as San Antonio claims Game 5 of our 6-game set. And pretty good on that. Well, finale tomorrow evening at 7:05. Gates open at 6 o'clock, so make sure you guys come on out and cheer on for a 5th straight win for San Antonio as we get ready to blow out this week. And, yep, off to Midland after tomorrow night. And road travel Monday. And so far, pretty good on that. Well, anyway, hope y'all have a good night. Get home safely. And we'll see y'all in the next live broadcast of Texas League Baseball. I'm John Baker, and with your partner, Bob, have a safe travel home.